What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Coming at you with yet another human optimization upload. And for today, I wanted to go over 3 points as to why you are not getting what you want out of life. Okay? So, if you exist in this reality and you are not part of the 1%, most likely you have run into consistent challenges, okay? Just existing problems, new problems, unforeseen problems, and blockades, okay? And you are not really getting what you want out of life, or you're not really where you want to be. Well, luckily for you, in I guess a lot of ways, that's not a problem only unique to you. And pretty much most people experience that. And there are two kinds of people that manage to solve that problem, and people that do not, and pretty much spiral downwards in their existence. So, for those of you that are really looking to solve that problem of not getting what you want out of life or being where you want to be in life, here's 3 things to consider that might be, the reason for that. First of all, you are working with the wrong information. Okay? So you have spent pretty much the first quarter to half of your life getting an education. That education comes from family, it comes from institutions like schools and universities, and possibly from community leaders if you are in a part of the world, or from a culture where community leadership is part of your education. Now, a lot of the times, the information you're getting might not be useful or pragmatic to your situation or timely. The reason for that is a lot of the time, whatever you're getting taught is what has worked for the previous generation. Now, that does not necessarily mean it's gonna work for you. Now, people aren't per se or necessarily trying to set you up for failure. They are sharing with you what worked for them, which may not necessarily be applicable to you within your own time frame. So that's one issue right here. Another issue is that you gotta really be careful where you're getting your information from. So, for example, if you are born to a poor or a middle class family, a lot of the education you're gonna get on a day in, day out basis is gonna be based on the experience of your middle class family or your poor family. So, you're gonna basically have those middle class and poor class habits ingrained into you and normalized. And again, that's not because your family is being malicious or just trying to keep you down. It's just what they know. Now, if you are aspiring to live the lifestyle of a rich individual, of a wealthy individual, of a one percenter, obviously what you're learning from a middle class or a poor class household is not going to get you to where you want to be. So, this is just another case where you are pretty much working with the wrong information. So, one thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to really sit down with yourself and be brutally honest, okay? And recognize that regardless of what stage of life you're in or what age you're in, you're going to have to recognize that you're not getting the results you want because of having the wrong information. That's a very hard pill to swallow, okay? It really is, because it means now a few things. One, you are going to have to stop looking to others or institutions that are typically figures of authority for information and education. You're going to be most likely for the first time in your life are going to be accountable for your own education, which means that you're going to have to get out there and seek knowledge. All right. And that's something that's very difficult to do if you've been conditioned all of your life to look to some sort of power figure or authority for information on how to live life and how to do things. Okay? Secondly, it's going to be the awareness that you are going to have to unlearn what you've learned for most of your life. If what you've learned most of your life is not affording you the quality of life or lifestyle that you want, you're going to have to take a very, very close look at yourself and tell yourself, hey, we need to start from scratch. The last 10, 20, 30, even 40 years were a complete waste of time. And I need to start learning or relearning new information, new habits, new ways of doing things. And that's a hard pill to swallow. It is a hard pill to swallow, especially when part of your conditioning for decades has been that if you do this, if you learn these things and execute on them, you're going to get great results. And when that doesn't happen, it is very, very hard to deal with psychologically. Okay? So, let me just take a look at my notes here. So, yeah, recognizing that the reason you're not getting the results you're looking for is because you're working with the wrong information and that you have to do something about it, okay? You have possibly for the first time in your life to take ownership of your education, ownership of the actions you're going to take to obtain that education, and ownership of the process and the plan you're going to have to put in place to operationalize that information so you can get the results you want. Okay? So that's one thing to consider. The other reason you are not getting the results you're looking for in life is honestly just laziness. Okay? A lot of the time you have access to the right information. You know exactly what you need to do, but you're not doing it. Okay? And there's no one else to fault but yourself in this setting. If you are not out there in the arena, putting effort, taking blows, making mistakes, pursuing what you want, going after what you want, you have no one else but yourself to blame for not getting the results you want out of life. So the good news is for this one is that it's easy to fix. Stop being lazy, okay? Stop being lazy. One way to tackle laziness is to have an accountability checklist, okay? So one thing I personally do is I create a new checklist every night before I go to bed of what I need to accomplish the next day. And that checklist encompasses everything from small tasks to big tasks that I need to accomplish for that day. And no matter what happens that day, I have to cross with a pen on a paper that item off of a checklist until all the checklist is completed by the end of the day. I've tried using productivity tools. It is not the same. Having a checkbox or I'm old school, okay? It doesn't really work for me using technology. It has to be a pen and a paper. I don't know what it is about having a pen and a paper, but it is so satisfying to accomplish a task and just scratch it out on a piece of paper. There's something about it that keeps me going, okay? So luckily, laziness is something that's easy to get over with. And, checklists are one of the easiest way. And you want the checklist somewhere that's visibly accessible to you so you are aware of it, okay? And honestly, other than the checklist, motivation is important. I don't think to discounting motivation and saying it doesn't matter. No, it does, okay? The days on which you're motivated are gonna be much easier to go through and get things done than the days you are not. The problem with motivation is it's not consistent, okay? But it is a tool in your toolbox, right? So the next thing really you need to counter laziness is discipline. Discipline meaning that it doesn't matter how you feel on a day, it doesn't matter what your circumstances are, it does not matter how tough or easy things are. You carry out what you said you will, okay? You carry out and execute on one you had planned to do. By hook or nook, you need to get it done, okay? There's no excuses, there's no reasons. It doesn't matter how you feel, it doesn't matter how much pain you're in, it doesn't matter how depressed you are. Regardless of everything, you get up, you get that task done, and scratch it off of your checklist, okay? So 3 tools to help you counter laziness is have a checklist of what you need to get done. By all means, do rely on motivation. Your best days are going to be the days where you're most motivated on. And your worst days are going to be the days where you are least motivated on. But to deal with that, the third point is discipline. Okay, regardless of what you're going through, what is going on, just push through. You have to. You don't have a choice, okay? You don't have a choice. You got to think about it in a way that if you were living out in the savannah or in the Arctic tundra and you were sick one day, but your family relies on you to eat and you have to hunt for your food, you have no choice. In that setting, you're not going to sit there and make an excuse. Oh, I'm sick. Oh, I feel tired today. Oh, I don't feel motivated. You have a wife and kids that are going to starve to death. Or your tribe or whatever. You think those days you're sitting around thinking, oh, like I'm just sick or tired? No, you are out there hunting. Your brain doesn't even have the capacity or the luxury of making excuses as to why you can't do something or why you're lazy, okay? As a matter of fact, think about it this way. Laziness is a luxury of good times, okay? If the times are hard, you don't. Psychologically, your brain does not come up with excuses. It can't afford to. You don't have the bandwidth to contemplate your existence and to take some time off. It's go, 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 go time all the time. All right? So stop being lazy. And last but not least is pride. Okay? If you are too proud to do what needs to be done to get ahead in life, okay, you're not going to get things done, all right? If you think that there are certain tasks or jobs that are beneath you, that you're too important to do, you're not going to get where you want to be in life. To give you an example, the CEO of NVIDIA was an immigrant to the US and from Taiwan originally, and he worked as a dishwasher when he was younger at Denny's. And he attributes all the success he's had in his life to the discipline and to the ability to do the menial tasks like dishwashing within Denny's, that nothing was beneath him. And even till today, in being the CEO at NVIDIA, there's no task that's beneath him. And I find that a lot of the time for people that are very, very successful, they tend to have their ego and pride in check. There's nothing that's beneath them. There is nothing that they can't do or won't do. They're always willing to do what needs to be done, and they do it with humility, and they tend to be very humble as they do it. And they don't look at it as something that's bad or icky or something that's beneath them. They look at it as something that is to be done, and they take it on gladly. Okay? So get your ego in check, get your sense of pride in check. Okay? Nothing is beneath you, especially when you're trying to build something or accomplish something or reach an objective in life. You need to go and get it done. Okay? So to cap things up, you guys, 3 things to fix so you can actually get the results you're looking for in life. One, get the right information. All right, at some point, if you're banging your head against the wall and you keep repeating that over and over and you're not getting the results you want, you're working with the wrong information. Secondly, stop being lazy, get active, get in motion, so things will materialize for you. And three, get your ego and pride in check. Okay, nothing is beneath you. All right, you should be ready to do what it takes so you can accomplish what you want in life. And to be very honest with everybody here, these are three things that I've struggled with myself. And these are three things that to a certain extent I still do struggle with. But I found out that if you tackle a lot of these things and you take them on and you're very honest with yourself, brutally honest, which is tough to do, you get results much quicker and much faster. Okay? Hopefully this has been helpful for some of you guys out there. And yeah, as per usual, very much appreciate your time and attention, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.